Hey everybody, welcome back to the MacWhisperer Academy. I'm Dylan Stewart, the MacWhisperer. And in today's session, we're going to continue our conversation all about how to use the cloud properly. We've talked about cloud computing and cloud storage. We've talked about Google Drive and Google Docs. We've talked about Dropbox. But now it's time for us to turn our attention and our focus to Apple's own one-stop shop, that is iCloud. iCloud has so many functions in it. It does backup, it does synchronization, it does storage, and so much more than that. And most people only using a small fraction of it. But after today's session, you're going to understand it a lot more and know exactly how to use it to make your life easier and make you more productive. There's tons to get into, so let's get ourselves started. iCloud is really an amazing tool. It's so powerful, but its biggest functionality comes from the fact that it's just built in and integrated, which means that most people don't have to do anything other than sign into their phone or sign into their iPad once. And then all of a sudden, things synchronize. And that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to talk about how to set up your iCloud properly, what to turn on and what to turn off, what some of the things mean, what it does do, what it doesn't do. So with that being said, let's figure out how to sign in to iCloud. The first step is to go into System Preferences down on your dock right here. And from here, you're going to click in the upper right corner where it says Sign In. If you don't see that, you're probably already signed in and you can skip ahead. I'm going to click Sign In here. So here, it prompts me for my Apple ID. So I'm going to go ahead and type my email address in, and I'm going to click the Next button. Now it wants the password. I'm going to go ahead and type that in as well. Now, in some cases, if you've got two-factor authentication turned on for your Apple ID, it may send a code to your phone or your iPad or one of your other devices. If you don't have that turned on, it'll just sign you right in. I'm going to go ahead and click Next. You might need to be a little patient while it connects to all of the services. You'll see the little wheel spinning inside of the Apple ID field. It may also ask for additional information like the password to one of your computers or the passcode to your phone or iPad. Pay attention to what it asks. What it's trying to do is confirm that you are who you say you are so that it can properly encrypt your iCloud data so that nobody else can get in. I'm going to put my computer password in here. And just like that, I'm signed in and I'm ready to go. Now, let's go check a couple of settings. I'm going to click on Apple ID here. And in this preference panel, you're going to see a whole lot of options. On the left side, we're going to click on iCloud. We're going to talk our way through what iCloud does. First of all, iCloud Drive. For anyone who watched my Dropbox or Google Drive sessions, iCloud Drive is very similar to that. It's a way for you to store your desktop and documents in the cloud and synchronize it with other devices. We'll talk a little more about that in a moment, but be aware of the Options section. This is very important. I'm going to click Options here. You want to make sure that your desktop and documents folders are checked on if you want to use this functionality. Otherwise, it won't properly synchronize. With this turned on, any devices that you have will share their desktop and documents, which means that multiple computers automatically have the same desktop and documents files. It means that from your phone or your iPad, you can automatically access anything in either of those folders. It's a really valuable and powerful tool, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that on here. I'm going to click the Done button. Now we've got Photos. Having Photos turned on means that all of your devices share the same photo library. This is really, really helpful. You know, back in the days of iPhoto, one of the biggest problems was synchronizing across all of your devices. You were taking pictures on your phone, but organizing them on your computer. And they didn't really play nice together. It's one of the biggest reasons Apple discontinued iPhoto and went to the Photos program. Down here, we're going to see Mail. This is one of the most misunderstood parts of iCloud. Because iCloud used to be Mac.com and used to be MobileMe, it used to come with a free email address, a Mac.com email address or a Me.com email address. If you do not have a Mac.com or a Me.com email address, and if you have not set up an iCloud.com email address, this should be unchecked. This is only for people who have those email addresses and are actively using them. So if you have a Mac.com or a Me.com, make sure you check this. And if you don't, just leave it unchecked. I happen to have one. Underneath that, we've got contacts. That means synchronize my address book between my devices. You've got calendars, you've got reminders, you've got notes. If you haven't seen my notes video, I am a notes fanatic. I love Apple's notes program, and the ability to synchronize through iCloud makes it super valuable. So if you haven't checked out my notes video, this is a great opportunity to click that button and go check that one out too. Safari. This means that your bookmarks and your history can all be synchronized. This means you can open a website on your phone, come home and open that same website from your computer without having to do anything or share it or email it to yourself. Keychain is all about your passwords. Underneath that, we've got Apple News, Stocks, Home, and Siri. A lot of people don't use those functions, but I would turn them on anyways. They don't take up any additional storage space, and if you start to use them, it's better if all that information is connected and stored. So through this checkbox, you can see all of the separate pieces and all of the separate things that iCloud does. Now down at the bottom here, you can see exactly how much storage space you've got on your iCloud plan. This will tell you how much storage you've got, and if it looks like it's really full, or if it only says 5 gigabytes, be aware. It might be time to upgrade, especially if you're going to turn on Photos or iCloud Drive. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Manage button here. And this will open up a screen that not just allows me to add more space or reduce space if I'm paying for too much space, but it also tells me what's taking up all my space. So here you can see I'm part of a family share plan, and there's almost 400 gigabytes used up by my family share plan. A family share plan is great because I'm paying for a large amount of iCloud storage and I can share it with everybody in my family. Watch for a future video when I talk about how to use a family share plan properly. Underneath that, you can see that there's about 200 gigabytes used up for photos and videos. You've got other documents. These are things that are on your desktop, your documents, or some programs that synchronize through iCloud. You've got your messages. Not only does it mean that your text messages are synchronized across all of your devices, but it also means that you're not taking up all the storage space on your phone or iPad or computer with all of those attachments and videos. They're just in your cloud. And here we've got backups. All of your Apple devices can get backed up. Underneath that, we've got my notes, some of the other programs that I'm using like Copied and Notability, and my mail storage space. All of these pieces add up to the amount of storage I'm using in my iCloud. If I need to change it, I can click the Change Storage Plan in the upper right-hand corner, and it's going to give me options, in my case, to downgrade. That's where you go to either go to a higher level or a lower level. If you've got enough storage space, don't go to a higher level just because. Let Apple tell you when you're out of space and upgrade then, otherwise you're just wasting money. But if you're using a huge amount of storage space and you've only got that much in it, maybe it's time to downgrade. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. So the last thing I want you to look at within iCloud is this little checkbox at the bottom that says Optimize Mac Storage. All right. You know Dropbox, right? You know how we talked about in Dropbox how you can have files that are accessible to you, but that are actually stored in the cloud? Dropbox makes it very easy to store large files in the cloud. So does Apple. And if you click this Optimize Mac Storage button, the files that are on your desktop and in your Documents folder that are synchronized through iCloud will be automatically sent up to the cloud if you're short on space. This makes it really easy to have a smaller hard drive without worrying about running out of room. Apple manages most of the details for you. So now let's step out of the iCloud system preference and let's talk for just a moment about iCloud Drive. So if we look over to the left of my sidebar, you're going to see an icon that says iCloud Drive, and you're going to see a little progress diagram to the right of iCloud Drive. That diagram shows up whenever iCloud is either uploading or downloading things. If you click on that progress indicator, it'll pop up a little window that will show you what iCloud's doing and how much it has left to do. Underneath iCloud Drive, your desktop and documents now show up here in the iCloud section. If you prefer to have your desktop and documents show up with your other favorites, no problem. Just click and you can drag them right into whatever position you want them to be in. But make no mistake, they're still stored in iCloud. When you go into iCloud Drive and you click on one of your files, you're going to notice certain icons. In my case, you'll see a cloud icon under the 320 or 321 folder. That means it's in the process of downloading that from the cloud. If I take a particular folder like this Dylan's Pics and I right click on it, I have an option to remove the download. What that means is I don't want this stored locally, I want this left in the cloud. It's very easy to do. I click remove download and in a few minutes I will get an icon instead of a cloud with a little arrow. That means these files are located up there, and if you would like them, go ahead and click the little arrow under the cloud. So here we can see that right there. And if I click on that, it will begin to download those files directly to my computer as well. So it's very easy to tell iCloud what you want to send to the cloud or what you want to save locally. Or you can just leave the optimized max storage setting checked, and then it'll kind of handle that stuff on its own. Now, you can also share folders in iCloud. So if I want to take this particular folder and I want to share it with somebody else like I would with Dropbox, I can select the folder and I can click on the little share icon up in my Finder. It will allow me to share that by clicking this icon or emailing or sending it as a message to somebody so that they can connect into that folder. This means that, like Dropbox, I can collaborate with people. So as you can see, iCloud Drive does almost everything that Dropbox does. But then why do I prefer Dropbox? It's very simple. iCloud's amazing, it's integrated, it's built in. For the average user, this is perfect. It's got all the tools you need. I'm not the average user. I have a lot of files that I need to store, and I'm collaborating with people who are not on Apple products a lot. As a result of that, Dropbox is a necessity for me. But if you want to share things and you're in an Apple ecosystem and your friends and family are in an Apple ecosystem, you probably don't need to pay for Dropbox. You can probably do most of it directly through iCloud Drive by right-clicking on the folders that you want to add to the cloud, download locally, or share. Very easy, very simple. Last thing I'm going to talk about iCloud has to do with photos. And there's a little more to the photos conversation, but we're just going to touch upon it here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Photos app. And I'm going to come up to the Photos menu and go into Preferences. Inside here, there are two sections. The General section, which has some basic settings, including confirming that the photo library you're using is your system library. You can only have one system library, and that's what iCloud is going to use to synchronize. So make sure that whatever your main photo library is being used as the system photo library. And then you can click on the iCloud icon and turn on iCloud Photos. Once you do that, it may check to make sure you have enough storage space. Under this section, you get to choose whether the photos are stored locally on your computer or you can optimize the max storage. This means the high-resolution photographs and videos are stored in your iCloud rather than on your computer. And this is a great tool for anyone who has a small hard drive or is a little short on space in general. It's important to note your photos are still available in high resolutions. So if you need to access a high resolution version of your photographs, you can go into any picture, go into File, and export that photo to your desktop wherever you need to, and it will export it in the highest quality available. I really love how Apple has integrated and simplified this process to such an extent that the average Apple user doesn't need to know any of this stuff, doesn't need to do any of this stuff, doesn't need to jump through the hoops and really understand the inner workings of things like you do with Dropbox or Google Drive or OneDrive. For most people, once you've signed in, you're done. But if you're not most people, take a look at those things that we did today. Hop into your system preferences. Go look at your iCloud. See what's on or off. Make sure you're using your iCloud Drive properly and downloading the things that you need locally and sending the things you don't need up to the cloud. Share a folder just so that you get the experience of what it's like to collaborate on those folders. Make your photo library shared across all of your devices. And once you've really mastered all of those pieces, and you're ready to take the next step into some of the high-level stuff we can do once your iCloud is being used to that level. That's our lesson for today. We've talked all about how to sign into iCloud, how to turn on and off the separate settings, what they mean, how to utilize iCloud Drive properly, how to set up your photos to synchronize. And all of this is meant to help you get more done with less effort on your Apple products. That's my mission as the Mac Whisperer. I'm Dylan Stewart. If you liked this video and got some value out of it, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? We release awesome videos, tips, tutorials, trainings on all sorts of Apple products on a regular basis. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notify bell so that you always get notified when I release new videos, and I will see you next time.